This boy is a die-hard fan of Saitama, which is why he wears the same costume even inside the Warrior Training Academy. In this academy, every student receives a special item based on their rank. However, since he's a beginner, he only gets a basic outfit. The other students often make fun of him, calling his costume silly and weak, but they don't realize that his suit actually has a hidden ability. The story begins in the year 2030 at Valkyrie National School, an academy where new freshmen arrive to face their first test. Their task is to defeat a master in combat. Each student enters the field with their special weapon, while the principal watches from his office through a live broadcast shown across the entire country. Citizens comment and vote during the event, saying that the students of this school are always powerful. The exam results determine which class each student will be placed in. The test begins inside a forest arena. A boy named Takayuki defeats a goblin using his iron fists, his special weapon. People praise him, though some say his attacks seem weak. Then a beautiful girl skillfully slashes down her opponent and eliminates the goblin. Her name is Shizuku, and the crowd admires her skill. Many other students also pass their trials successfully. Seeing the overall performance, viewers comment that their tax money is finally being put to good use. Suddenly, a scream is heard from the arena. When the drones zoom in, they find a boy running without wearing the proper school uniform. People laugh at his outfit, saying he must think he's Saitama. A weak goblin attacks him, and the audience laughs even more, wondering how someone so weak entered the school. When he tries to grab a tree branch, he gets an electric shock. A floating window appears in front of him, showing that he's wearing the beginner suit, a suit that prevents the use of weapons. The goblin keeps attacking him until he collapses from exhaustion, but he doesn't give up. He stands up again, earning some respect from the viewers for his determination. He gets an idea, takes off his clothes, grabs the branch, and attacks the goblin. In truth, the suit itself is his special weapon, a design inspired by his spiritual mentor, Saitama. Yet people still mock him, and some complain that their tax money is being wasted on students like him. In the results, the Saitama fanboy named Hinata is placed in the lowest rank, Class E, while Shizuku is ranked in Class A. The purpose of all this student training is linked to a greater cause. Years ago, monsters attacked the world, bringing it to the brink of destruction. At that time, Hinata was just a child. Humanity was helpless, but then came a glimmer of hope. The relic. A relic is formed when a human connects to something from another world, revealing a part of their soul. It can take the shape of a weapon, a shield, a stone, or another special object. Hinata's father possessed a shield-type relic, which he used to protect others. He was Hinata's role model. During one battle, when the monster overpowered him, Hinata's father told him to take Shizuku and run, and to grow strong enough to protect everyone one day. Since then, Hinata has devoted himself to becoming stronger, following the path of his mentor, Saitama. 6 months have passed since Hinata joined the school. The scene opens in a classroom where he lies on the floor, injured. One of the strongest students, Takayuki, pours milk over his head to mock him. Hinata thinks to himself that hard work doesn't always bring results. Takayuki sticks a paper on his back that says "Hero appears" and threatens to beat him if he removes it. As Hinata walks through the hall, everyone laughs at him. Then Shizuku passes by and completely ignores him. Shizuku was Hinata's childhood friend. On the same day Hinata's father died, Shizuku's father also lost his life. They had supported each other since then, but she has changed. Now, Shizuku is among the strongest students, while Hinata has become weak and unsuccessful. When Hinata returns to class, Takayuki hits him on the head with another student's shoe. Class E consists of students with low-performing relics and uncertain futures. Even the teachers no longer care about them. Takayuki, using his iron gloves, his relic, punches Hinata hard. Although the use of relics in school fights is forbidden, Takayuki and his friends ignore the rules. Hinata endures the beating, earning the reputation of being the weakest student in school. A girl named Akane witnesses this and asks her friend Kaori why Takayuki bullies Hinata so much. Kaori explains that after the first test, there was a mock drill to evaluate relic performance. Hinata's perseverance during that battle made Takayuki receive a poor evaluation because he didn't have a proper finishing move. At that moment, Takayuki continues hitting Hinata. The counter reaches 9,999 hits. Then Takayuki mocks Hinata's late father, but Hinata remains silent. Takayuki orders one of his friends to hit Hinata next. The friend hesitates but then smashes a chair over Hinata, completing the 10,000th hit. Right then, a notification appears. Your relic weapon can now be upgraded. Beginner suit can evolve into unyielding suit. In truth, the suit holds a secret. Hinata had discovered 6 months earlier that he could upgrade it. He found this out when he went to the school's basement training portal. He often thinks that if he keeps failing like this, useless students like him will eventually be expelled. The more a person uses their relic, the stronger their characteristics become. Hinata wonders what the special ability of his suit could be, so he decides to train inside the portal. There, he encounters a goblin. He debates whether to fight without his suit or endure the pain to strengthen his relic. In the end, he decides that if he truly wants to grow stronger, he has to endure pain and suffering. He catches the attacking monster's weapon with his hands, and a sudden electric surge strikes both of them. The monster dies instantly. After the battle, Hinata finds a small magic stone on the ground. He feels disappointed that all his effort has only earned him a small stone. But suddenly, the stone disappears and a window screen appears with a message: "First magic stone has been absorbed. Your indomitable suit has responded." That day, Hinata realized how he could strengthen his suit. From then on, for 6 months straight, he deliberately allowed himself to get beaten so the suit could grow stronger. After receiving his 10,000th hit that day, Hinata returns to his dorm room. He doesn't yet know how to perform the upgrade. Then a notification appears saying he can upgrade the suit simply by saying the word aloud. When he does, the suit upgrades instantly, its appearance changes slightly, and his status screen displays new attributes and features. Believing his defense has improved, he goes to the training portal to test it. Inside, Shizuku is already training. When she sees Hinata passing by, her friend laughs, saying he is the same boy everyone had mocked on admission day. Shizuku doesn't laugh. Instead, she quietly says that whenever she expects something from someone, she only finds disappointment. Hinata stands before a goblin. When it attacks, he blocks the strike with his arms. He feels only a slight pain, proof that his suit's defense has improved. He punches the monster back, but it doesn't deal much damage. The monster slams him to the ground and begins beating him. More goblins join in, attacking him together. Feeling his life in danger, Hinata tries to run and calls for help. Then he remembers his father's words. Regaining his courage, he faces the monsters again and endures their blows. A notification appears: weapons cannot be used at beginner level. When he tries to grab a weapon, sparks of electricity burst from his suit. He seizes that moment to escape. Suddenly, a new message appears on his screen. Your yelling spirit has synchronized with fireproof. New ability unlocked, Revenge. Hinata has gained a new power that can be activated by voice command. The description says that any damage he receives will convert into immense power for 10 seconds, but it can only be used once per day. He immediately activates the skill by shouting, "Revenge." For 10 seconds, an overwhelming energy surges through him. He attacks the monsters one after another, defeating them all in a burst of power. When the skill's time ends, he understands its nature. It works only in desperate situations and requires him to take damage first. He realizes he can't rely on this single skill for future battles. Suddenly, his eyes catch another magic stone, a reward for defeating the goblins. When he picks it up, his suit begins to upgrade again, unlocking several new abilities. Hinata has now become even stronger. A week passes, and Hinata now appears stronger than ever. His movements carry confidence, and his body radiates energy. In the arena, he attacks a goblin from above and defeats it using Revenge skill. As the goblin falls to the ground, he receives a new magic stone, and a notification appears on the screen. He has gained new power for defeating an enemy on the first attempt. His relic now shows new abilities, enhanced endurance, stronger defense, and permission to wield weapons. Hinata is amazed at how quickly his relic is evolving. Deep down, he feels that his hard work is finally paying off. Yet he also knows he still lacks true power and cannot rely only on his single offensive skill, Revenge. He remembers that when he first gained Revenge, no upgrade list had appeared, yet the power still manifested. Perhaps the stone absorbed at that moment was the real key. He realizes that a relic isn't just connected to the body, but also to the heart. When a person feels truly broken, that emotion transforms into strength. Later, Hinata visits the hospital. In the room, his little sister Hikari welcomes him with a bright smile. Hinata pulls up a chair beside her. She tells him she is feeling better today and hopes to leave the hospital soon. Hinata smiles with relief, but when he looks to the other side of the room, his expression hardens. His mother lies unconscious in a hospital bed. She has been in a coma for 10 years. She suffers from crystal sickness, a disease caused by monster venom, for which no cure has yet been found. Hinata knows that Hikari was once infected by the same poison, but their mother risked her own life to save her. The doctors had said that maybe Hikari could return home next year, but Hinata knows time is slipping away. Suddenly, the door opens and a man enters, Kagura, once a close companion of Hinata's father. Hikari beams with joy, and Kagura greets her warmly, handing her a small gift and praising her courage. After a while, he asks Hinata to step outside with him. Kagura is the leader of the Phoenix Guild, a powerful organization formed to fight monsters. But Hinata knows their true goal, power and wealth. Kagura tells him that if he wants to cure his mother, he will need a large amount of money. The guild can help him, but in return, they want his mother for research. A wave of anger rises inside Hinata. He refuses firmly, saying he will never sacrifice his mother. Kagura smirks and reminds him that he can't keep paying hospital bills forever, and his relic is too weak to protect anyone. Hinata, without lowering his gaze, says he will do anything to protect his family. At that moment, his father's words echo in his mind. One day, you'll become the shield that protects us. As Kagura leaves, he says that if Hinata ever changes his mind, he can return. Hinata stands silently, then goes back inside and sits beside his mother, vowing in his heart to protect them on his own. By evening, he leaves the hospital. He tells himself this is no time to stop. He must train harder than ever. While walking, he hears someone calling for help. He looks and sees a few boys harassing a girl, Akane, a classmate from Class E. Hinata pauses for a moment, thinks it's not his problem, and keeps walking. The boys tell Akane to come with them, saying a senior is waiting and will pay her well since she needs money. Akane insists they're mistaken, but one of them says they got information from someone close to her. When the boy tries to force her, she pushes him back angrily. The other girls nearby laugh, and the boy, humiliated, grabs her by the collar. She pulls free and starts to walk away, but as one of the boys reaches toward her again, Hinata steps in and grabs his hand, stopping him. Everyone freezes in surprise. One of them recognizes him and mocks him, saying he's the weak kid from Class E. Hinata remains silent and doesn't move from his place. The boy, angry, swings a punch. Hinata catches his hand and knees him in the stomach. The boy collapses to the ground while the others stare in shock. For a moment, Hinata looks toward Akane. In her eyes, he sees both surprise and trust. Hinata realizes that perhaps, for the first time, he stood up for someone weaker and didn't feel weak himself. The scene shifts to the school's kickboxing club. Shizuku is training fiercely in the ring with the coach. He attacks her, but she skillfully dodges and catches him off guard with a kick. The coach smiles, surprised by her strength. Shizuku says she has nothing to lose, which is why she works to improve herself every single day. The scene returns to the street. Hinata stands surrounded by several boys. One attacks him, but Hinata quickly throws him to the ground. Another tries to grab him from behind, yet Hinata evades and slams him down as well. Akane, standing nearby, watches in shock. She starts to realize that Hinata's true power is something else entirely. In school, the relic's effect makes him appear weaker than he really is. Now Hinata reveals his real strength. After taking everyone down, he pauses and looks around to see if anyone else will attack. The first boy he defeated pulls out his relic, a cannon-like weapon, and fires. Hinata raises his hands and blocks the attack. He steps back slightly, but his body remains unscathed. The boy is left speechless. Hearing the noise, people begin to gather. Someone shouts that a relic was used and that they should call the police. The girls panic, telling their friend to run away, and the group leaves, vowing to take revenge later. Hinata looks at his hand where the blow had landed, but it is completely fine. Akane steps forward, asking if he is okay. Hinata smiles lightly and says, maybe the strike hit a hard spot, so he didn't feel anything. As he turns to leave, Akane stops him and asks if he doesn't want to know why she was caught up in that trouble. Hinata glances at her and says that everyone has their own secrets that are not meant to be discussed. He walks away, leaving Akane standing there, realizing that the boy she once thought weak is actually strong and kind-hearted. The next day at school, Akane cheerfully walks up to Hinata, pats his shoulder, and thanks him. Just then, the same boy with the cannon relic appears and strikes Hinata on the head, knocking him down. Akane panics, while her friend Kaori watches with excitement, eager to see the fight. The boy's three other friends join him. He tells Hinata he already warned him. They're in the same school after all. Akane tries to stop him and says that if he wants to fight, he should fight her instead. The boy laughs and says this is a school, they can do whatever they want. Hinata gets up from the ground and admits he is from the weaker class. The boy punches him hard in the face. Another boy activates his relic. His arm turns into a massive mechanical hand, and he lifts Hinata into the air. The cannon boy steps forward, saying he will humiliate Hinata like this every day. Suddenly, a hit lands on his head from behind. Akane had attacked him with her relic gun, calling them despicable. The boys laugh at her and mock her weak power. At that moment, Takayuki and his companion Hagane arrive and witness everything. The cannon boy then strikes Hinata in the stomach with full force. Hinata falls back, but is surprised to feel no pain. He realizes that the power is growing inside him, not in the suit. In the next instant, he activates his revenge ability. Energy bursts forth, and Hinata attacks, slamming the boy into the wall. Everyone is shocked. The boy with the cannon is stunned to see that the hand which blocked his bullet is completely unharmed. Hinata thinks maybe the attack wasn't really that powerful, since he barely felt any pain. He prepares to fight again, but just then, a school officer arrives and orders everyone to return to their classes. The boys leave in frustration, while Akane feels a sense of relief. After the officer leaves, Takayuki tells his companion Hagane that next time he will hit Hinata so hard he won't be able to stand again. Hagane stays quiet but thinks to himself that Hinata shouldn't be underestimated. During lunch break, Hinata sits alone in the bathroom, looking at his system screen. He realizes that the powers he saw in his suit might actually be his own abilities. Now, even without the suit, he can feel the strength within him, but he also knows he still needs to learn how to deliver powerful strikes properly. As he steps out of the bathroom, Takayuki and Hagane are waiting for him. Takayuki mockingly tells him he should ask permission before going to the bathroom, then activates his relic and punches Hinata in the stomach, demanding he bring him lunch. This time, Hinata feels no pain. Hagane notices and is surprised, sensing that something has changed. Hinata thinks about taking revenge, but revenge can only be activated once per day. Still, he feels pleased. His true power is awakening. Just then, Akane appears and tells Takayuki to stop. Takayuki, irritated, asks why she's there. Calmly, she says she came to talk to Hinata. Takayuki mocks her, asking if she plans to defend Hinata again. Akane raises her voice and says yes, and that if anyone wants to hit a woman, they should hit themselves first. Hearing this, Takayuki steps back in embarrassment and walks away with Hagane. Hinata and Akane are left alone. Akane explains that she didn't come to protect him, but to apologize. Because of her, he got into a fight with the Class C boys. Hinata tells her it's not her fault, he got involved on his own. They talk for a while. Akane shares that her father was a frontline hero who fought the monsters, but when she was little, he lost a battle and became bedridden. After that, her family situation grew worse. Her mother began meeting different men to earn money to support her, and over time, she changed completely, getting involved in questionable activities and eventually demanding money from her too. Akane says she's grateful to her mother for raising her, but knows what she did was wrong. To escape that life, she came to this school. She admits she wants to be like her father, strong and independent, but the reality is she's stuck in Class E, where the future looks bleak. That's why the Class C boys approached her. They knew about her situation and offered money with bad intentions. She refused them, but they wouldn't give up easily. When Hinata asks why she is telling him all this, Akane says that since he got involved because of her, she didn't want him to remain unaware or misunderstand her. She knows Hinata will keep her secret. Before leaving, she warns him that the Class C boys might come looking for him during lunch and tells him to stay alert. She leaves, and Hinata feels more confident, thinking that Akane is truly a good person. Meanwhile, Takayuki is angry, complaining to Hagane that every time they try to do something, someone interrupts. He says that next time, they will make sure Hinata learns a hard lesson. Hagane agrees. As they walk down the hall, Hagane's attention shifts outside. He notices Akane's friend Kaori talking with the Class C boys. Confused, he tells Takayuki he forgot his wallet and steps away, then hides nearby to listen. He remembers Kaori was with Akane that day and begins to wonder if Kaori might be in danger too. But as he listens, the truth shocks him. Kaori scolds the boys, saying she gave them a simple task and they still failed. The boys apologize, and Kaori says their senior will be angry. She has already missed several calls from him. One of the boys explains they failed because of some troublemakers who interfered, and Akane kept refusing them. Kaori seems surprised and asks why, and the boy replies that she should know better. She was the one who told them. Akane was almost sold off in a bar before she escaped to this school. Now that she is in Class E, she should give up and return to her old life. They ask Kaori if they are really friends. Kaori arrogantly says yes. That's why she introduced them to Akane, to help her. She claims many people need money, and Akane should appreciate her efforts. One of the boys comments that Kaori is probably using her sacred artifact ability to persuade them. Kaori hides her hand behind her back and says her ability only makes people a little more obedient. The White Cape boy starts to fall under its effect, but their companion snaps them out of it, warning Kaori not to use her ability on her own allies. Kaori says there's no other choice. If they only focus on offensive power, they will lose, since some strange monsters are immune to such strength. Another boy mutters that this time she will probably use her full power since she failed before, and that he will summon them properly in the morning. He adds that their upperclassman doesn't know the meaning of holding back. Another life will be ruined because of her. Kaori tells them to keep their mouths shut and meet again after school tomorrow. Hagane, now deeply troubled, realizes he has discovered something serious. serious. He feels worried, thinking he has no chance against those boys, and worse, their seniors might get involved too. He knows Takayuki won't help him. There's only one person who can, Hinata. Akane sits alone in the classroom, packing her bag, lost in deep thought. She remembers the moment when she once called her father a hero. He had smiled gently and told her that he was not a hero. She had been surprised, but his next words still echo in her mind. He said that true heroes are not those who fight only for their loved ones. They are the ones who fight for everyone. He said protecting his family was enough for him, and then gave her one piece of advice: when the heart is strong, power follows on its own. Time passed, and then came the day when a city building caught fire. Akane's father was brought to the hospital, badly injured. Her mother was crying, while Akane stood silently, not understanding what was happening. That moment became carved into her heart. Later, the doctor said his life was no longer in danger, but they could not say if he would ever recover. A few days later, Akane was in the hospital room. Her father was still unconscious when the door opened. Her mother entered, her eyes tired, her appearance like she had just come from a party. She lit a cigarette right in the room. When Akane tried to stop her, she ignored it and angrily asked if her husband still hadn't woken up. Then, in frustration, she kicked the bed and shouted that there was no point in protecting others when he couldn't even protect himself. She complained about the hospital bills and told Akane that once she finished junior school, she would have to start working too. Then she left. Akane sat there, thinking she wished there was some way to cure her father's illness. A memory came to her mind of a glowing red-hearted serpent called Glow Basilisk, said to be effective against many deadly diseases, but it was rare, impossible to buy. That was when Akane decided she would have to find it herself. It was the reason she joined the academy in the first place. Now, in the present, she wonders what she is even doing here. What has she gained after ending up in Class E? The thought of giving up crosses her mind, yet a spark of hope remains. She tells herself that maybe, if she tries hard enough, she can one day become as strong as Hinata. As she prepares to leave, she sees Kaori standing by the door, wearing a strange smile. Akane immediately senses something is wrong. Kaori has come with hidden intentions, her sacred artifact ability concealed behind her back. Meanwhile, Hagane is following Hinata down the hall, torn between whether to talk or stay silent. When Hinata turns back and sees him, Hagane freezes, but realizes this is his only chance to speak. Still, he loses courage and thinks, after all the times he has bothered Hinata, how can he now ask for help? Hinata, expressionless, turns away and walks off. At that moment, Hagane notices Kaori holding Akane's hand and leading her somewhere. Seeing Akane's blank expression, he realizes Kaori has used her artifact ability on her and is controlling her. Alarmed, he runs away. Hinata notices Hagane running and feels slightly concerned. Elsewhere, in the dark room, the Class C boys and their senior are meeting. They tell the senior that Kaori is with them today, so everything will go smoothly according to plan. The door opens. Kaori enters with Akane, who looks lifeless under her control. The senior's girlfriend mocks him, asking if he plans to make Akane his new girl. The senior laughs slyly, denying it, while eyeing Akane in a taunting way. Kaori orders Akane to say whether she needs money or not. Under the effect of Kaori's control, Akane responds that yes, she needs money for her father's treatment. Just then, someone's movement catches their attention. Hagane, who had followed them and is now hiding nearby, watching. He realizes he has made a huge mistake coming alone. He isn't strong enough to face them. Kaori quickly points toward him, saying he's just a weak classmate of hers and nothing more. Then she uses her sacred artifact ability on him, taking control and adding him to the group. Under Kaori's influence, she orders Hagane to remove Akane's uniform. One of the boys switches on a camera to record everything. Hagane starts moving toward Akane, unable to control his own body. Inside, he is screaming, hating himself for always ending up with the wrong people. He remembers when Takayuki forced him to attack Hinata with the chair, how he chose that path only because he had no other choice. He wishes Hinata were here now to stop this. Suddenly, Hagane gets kicked hard in the face and is thrown backward. Everyone looks in shock. Kaori's expression turns uneasy as she sees who has arrived. Hinata. Akane, still half under control, looks at him with faint hope in her eyes. The senior asks Kaori who the boy is. She replies that he's from their class, the weakest one. The senior laughs and mocks him, wondering what such a weakling is doing there. Kaori then tries to use her artifact ability on Hinata, but it has no effect. Hinata questions her, asking why she's doing this to Akane, even though she knows about Akane's family problems. Kaori says that's exactly why she's giving Akane this job. It's her way of helping her. Just then, Hagane, lying on the floor, speaks up and says she's lying. He tells Hinata that Akane doesn't want to do this. Kaori is forcing her with her ability. Kaori, angry, remarks that it seemed he was hit so hard that he woke up and broke her spell. The class boys shift their attention to Hinata and tell him he's escaped from them twice before, but this will be the last time. One of them activates his ability, turning his arm into a giant cannon. He fires at Hinata, but Hinata blocks it with his hand, standing firm. The senior thinks it was just luck, and then asks Kaori what Hinata's relic is. Kaori admits she thought he didn't have one, but the senior knows no holy relic exists without power, so Hinata must be hiding something. Kaori looks at Hinata, wondering why her magic didn't affect him. In truth, Hinata's strong willpower protects him from such spells. Another boy attacks from behind with his giant mechanical arm, but Hinata dodges it. His anger starts to rise, and he asks why they are using holy relics to hurt people. He says these tools exist to protect, not to harm. The senior laughs loudly, then becomes serious. He tells Hinata that he doesn't understand how the world works. Only a few selected people can enter government-sanctioned guilds. They have to earn money through their artifacts, and that's the reality. Hinata's anger grows. He begins activating his suit and says that if that's true, then why do they exploit those who are simply chasing a better future? The senior replies that as long as it doesn't hurt him, he doesn't care about others. Then, placing his hand on Kaori's shoulder, he proudly says that they can even sell others for their own gain. Akane hears this, and tears fill her eyes. Hinata attacks the senior, shouting that being weak is not a sin, but another boy blocks his strike with his giant arm. The senior smirks and says he thought Hinata might be capable of something, but he's just another weak insect. Hinata, filled with rage, keeps attacking the giant arm, thinking about how people like these bully the weak. He remembers all the innocent ones who suffered, like Akane, and vows to teach them that weak people cannot be used. Suddenly, a notification appears. Escalating rage has triggered a reaction, initiating force update. Hinata roars and lands a powerful blow, sending the boy flying backward. Everyone watches in shock. Another notification flashes. Relic identified. New suit of rage. Rage grants the user increased strength. Hinata's entire body glows red with energy as his power surges. He declares that he will become stronger than all the cruel ones, until he destroys every last one of them. The senior and his group are terrified after witnessing Hinata's power. They no longer take him lightly. Kaori turns pale with fear. Suddenly, Hinata moves so fast that he appears right in front of the senior, startling him. Hinata swings a powerful punch, which the senior narrowly dodges. The senior retaliates with a kick, but Hinata avoids it with ease. Kaori grips her artifact tightly, trembling, wondering how Hinata has become so strong. The senior, now serious, activates his relic, a watch on his right hand. He picks up a bottle of water from the ground and pours it over the watch. With pride, he warns not to underestimate him because he once belonged to Class B. His ability allows him to control water, and he sends 3 sharp water strikes toward Hinata. They hit, but Hinata stands unfazed. The senior frowns, thinking Hinata's arm should have been broken. How could he be this tough? He mocks Hinata, saying he lacks experience, then raises water from the ground again, wrapping it around Hinata like a serpent. The senior boasts about his power and continues attacking, each hit strong as metal, leaving marks on Hinata's body. He pours more water over his relic and explains that as long as he keeps sprinkling water, his ability will not weaken. He taunts Hinata, saying he chose the wrong opponent. Then, gathering the water, he unleashes a huge wave toward him, but something blocks the attack. The senior turns and sees Akane standing with her relic weapon, a machine gun, aimed straight at him. Akane, beaten and bruised, has helped her regain consciousness. Kaori quickly tries to control Akane again with her ability, but Akane fires before she can. Kaori's spell orb shatters midair. Akane, with a sad face, asks Kaori why she did all this. Kaori laughs bitterly, saying she only needed money, mocking Akane that her certificate is worthless and she should be grateful Kaori even used her. Hearing this, Akane's patience breaks, but before she can react, she is struck from behind by a heavy blow. The attacker is the same boy with the cannon arm. Hinata, already worn out, is caught off guard. Akane falls to the floor. The senior announces that everything is over now. He will erase their memories using Kaori's ability, but Akane refuses to give up. Struggling to stand, she whispers to Hinata that she will fight and will not stay weak anymore. Tears stream down her face as she lifts her gun and fires at the senior. He blocks the shot with his shield, but the distraction frees Hinata from control. Akane smiles weakly and tells Hinata that she believes in him. Hinata nods, telling her to leave the rest to him. He charges at the senior. The senior tries to trap him again, but Hinata activates his skill. Revenge. The moment his punch lands, it breaks through the defense. He declares that enough is enough. Energy bursts violently from his body. The senior's attacks no longer work. Fear strikes him as he stumbles back. Hinata's aura grows stronger. He tightens his fists and says that now he'll show what real strength from a weak piece of trash looks like. Then he smashes a powerful punch straight into the senior's face, sending him crashing down. The senior freezes, unable to move. Hinata continues to hit him until Akane steps in and stops him. At that moment, the cannon boy attacks again, but Hinata blocks the strike effortlessly. Enraged, he grabs the boy by the collar, lifts him off the ground, and warns him never to mess with him again. He doesn't have time for their childish games. The boy trembles and agrees. Hinata lets him go. Kaori, terrified, steps back silently. Everyone finally breathes in relief. Akane recalls her father's words, that true strength belongs to those with courage. She smiles and gives Hinata a high five.